Does this sound familiar? It's 3 a.m., and once again, you're making that weary trip to the bathroom. Not the first time tonight, either. Each interruption shatters your sleep, drains your energy, and leaves you foggy and irritable the next day. Your partner snores peacefully beside you, but you lie awake, wondering, why me? Is this just aging? Millions of people shrug it off as normal, resigning themselves to fatigue, the fear of stumbling in the dark, and the belief that they'll never sleep through the night again. But let me tell you something very clearly. It doesn't have to be this way. Interrupted sleep is not an unavoidable destiny of aging. For more than 20 years, I've worked with patients who struggled with bladder and urinary issues. Many of them arrived in my office desperate, frustrated, and ready to give up hope. But time and again, I've seen incredible transformations. People who reclaimed their nights and with it their health and joy. And today, I want to share with you one of the most overlooked strategies in urology. Not just how much water you drink, but when you drink it. A deceptively simple shift in your hydration habits that could restore restful sleep. But before I reveal this strategy, you need to understand just how serious this problem really is. Up to 70% of adults over 60 wake up at least once a night to urinate. For many, it's 2, 3, or even 4 times. This condition has a name, Nocturia. And here's the truth, Nocturia is common, but it is not normal. It's not just a mild inconvenience. It's a warning sign from your body. Let me share some real stories from patients. Michael, 82, a grandfather who loved building intricate ship models, had to stop because his hands trembled constantly from chronic sleep deprivation. Susan, 78, a retired teacher, fractured her hip on one of her nightly bathroom trips. That single fall robbed her of independence. These are not rare cases. They reflect the harsh reality many seniors live with. Nocturia is more than just being tired. It's a chain reaction of risks. 1. Falls and injuries. At night, groggy and unsteady, every rug, cord, or chair leg becomes a hazard. For older adults, a fall can lead to fractures and a rapid decline in mobility and health. 2. Cognitive decline. Deep sleep is when your brain performs vital housekeeping. It clears out toxins, consolidates memory, and restores mental clarity. Fragmented sleep disrupts this process, leading to brain fog, poor concentration, and over time, even a higher risk of Alzheimer's and other dementias. 3. Cardiovascular stress. Every sudden wake-up spikes stress hormones, blood pressure, and heart rate. When this happens night after night, the heart suffers. Studies link nocturia to an increased risk of hypertension and heart disease. 4. Emotional toll. Chronic fatigue chips away at your mood and resilience. It makes you irritable, anxious, even depressed. You stop feeling like yourself, and worse, you stop doing the things that bring you joy. 3 main reasons. Lower ADH levels. Your body produces less antidiuretic hormone, which normally signals your kidneys to slow urine production while you sleep. Without enough ADH, the urine factory keeps running. Reduced bladder capacity. With age, the bladder loses elasticity, meaning it holds less before triggering the urge. Fluid redistribution. Swelling in the ankles or legs during the day isn't harmless. When you lie down at night, that fluid moves back into circulation, processed by your kidneys, and ends up in your bladder, waking you hours later. Before I give you the strategy, I need to break down the common mistakes that people make. 1. Just drink less water. Wrong. Dehydration stresses your kidneys, worsens constipation, and makes urine more concentrated, actually irritating the bladder. 2. Drink water only at night if thirsty. This backfires. Late-night hydration means your bladder fills right when you should be sleeping. 3. It's just aging, nothing to do about it. This is the most dangerous myth of all. Accepting nocturia as normal prevents people from making changes that could transform their health. Stick with me, because next I'll reveal the simple timing strategy one teach patients. The one that finally allows them to sleep through the night. Myth number 1. If I drink less water during the day, I'll wake up less at night. This is by far the most common mistake, and ironically, the one that makes things worse. At first glance, it makes sense. Less water in, less urine out. But your body is more complex than a simple plumbing system. When you skimp on fluids during the day, your urine becomes highly concentrated, loaded with salts, waste products, and irritants. Imagine pouring lemon juice on a paper cut. That's how concentrated urine feels to the sensitive lining of your bladder. The result? Your bladder gets twitchy, sending urgent signals to empty even when it's only partially full. What's worse, when you finally cave and drink more water later in the day, often in the afternoon or evening, your body, already in conservation mode, processes that fluid rapidly and inefficiently. The kidneys essentially dump it, which means more urine filling your bladder overnight. Paradoxically, drinking too little during the day actually causes more nighttime trips. Myth number 2. It's just because I have a small bladder. I've always been this way. This is another common misconception. Yes, bladder size varies between individuals, but here's the truth. Most nocturia is not a bladder problem. It's a kidney timing problem. Here's why. Your bladder is just the tank. The real issue is the factory, the kidneys, churning out urine at the wrong time. In younger adults, the body produces plenty of antidiuretic hormone, ADH, at night, signaling the kidneys to slow down urine production so you can sleep. But as we age, ADH production drops, and the kidneys don't get the memo to ease off. On top of that, there's fluid redistribution. If your legs swell a little during the day, common in older adults, that fluid doesn't disappear. The moment you lie down, gravity shifts it back into circulation, and your kidneys filter it straight into the bladder. So even if you had the bladder capacity of a camel, you'd still wake up if the kidneys are working overtime. Blaming a small bladder is a myth that distracts you from addressing the real cause. Myth number 3. A nightcap helps me relax and sleep. So what's the harm? This one is especially destructive. Yes, alcohol may help you doze off faster, but it wrecks your sleep cycles and guarantees more bathroom trips. Here's why. Alcohol is a potent diuretic, which means it directly increases urine production. Even worse, it suppresses your body's natural release of ADH, the hormone that slows urine output at night. In other words, that glass of wine or beer before bed not only adds liquid, it shuts off the very mechanism designed to keep you asleep. And it doesn't stop there. Alcohol fragments your sleep, often waking you in the second half of the night, the exact time your bladder is also sending signals to empty. Add them together, and you've got the perfect storm for nocturia. That's why one of the simplest, most effective steps you can take is cutting out alcohol in the hours before bed. Now that we've cleared up the myths, you've already taken the first big step forward, understanding what doesn't work. But knowledge alone doesn't solve the problem. You need a strategy. That's where the ASIM method comes in. It's a simple 5-step hydration protocol I've taught to thousands of patients, and it's transformed their nights from restless to restful. And here's the best part. It's not about drinking less water, it's about drinking smarter. Myth number 4. Integrate electrolytes. Make water work for you. Hydration is more than just drinking water. It's about delivering that water into your cells where it's needed most. Without electrolytes, much of what you drink simply passes through your system, leading to frequent urination and lingering thirst. Why this works? Sodium, from a pinch of unrefined sea salt, helps regulate fluid balance by pulling water into your cells, rather than letting it sit outside them. Potassium, from a splash of lemon juice, balances sodium, ensuring your cells don't retain too much water and preventing swelling. Together, these electrolytes act like keys that unlock the door for water to actually enter your cells. In your first glass of water each morning, add just a pinch of unrefined sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. It's a small change that can improve absorption, reduce afternoon dehydration, and lower your chances of waking up thirsty at night. Myth number 5. Manage your dinner. Control the nighttime saboteurs. Your last meal sets the tone for your night. The wrong foods overstimulate your bladder, raise your blood sugar, and increase nighttime urination. What to avoid at dinner? Spicy or acidic foods irritate the bladder lining, causing urgency. Sugary foods or refined carbs spike blood sugar, making the kidneys work harder to flush out excess glucose with water. High-water foods like soups, watermelon, or cucumbers healthy, but best eaten earlier so they don't add to nighttime urine volume. Chocolate and caffeine act as stimulants to both brain and bladder, keeping you awake and running to the bathroom. What to choose instead? A protein-rich meal, chicken, fish, beans, paired with lightly cooked vegetables. This keeps blood sugar stable, avoids bladder irritation, and fuels your body without triggering excess urine production. 1. Double voiding. Ensure the tank is empty. Sometimes you think your bladder is empty, but it isn't. That leftover urine triggers a 3 a.m. wake-up call. How to do it? Sit down, yes, even men. Relax and fully empty. Then stay seated 30 to 60 seconds, lean forward and try again. Why it works? Sitting relaxes the pelvic floor, while leaning forward changes the bladder's angle, helping you release the last bit. That extra urine might be the difference between sleeping through the night or waking too soon. 2. The gravity elevator. Manage fluids in your legs. Throughout the day, gravity pulls fluid down into your legs and ankles. When you lie down at night, this fluid shifts back into circulation, forcing your kidneys to produce more urine. 1 to 2 hours before bed, elevate your legs above heart level while reading or watching TV. This pre-drains the fluid so your kidneys can process it before you sleep. Wearing compression socks during the day also prevents excess fluid buildup in the first place. 3. Salt shaker control. Avoid the silent saboteur. We use a pinch of salt in the morning to boost hydration, but too much throughout the day backfires. Extra salt makes your body hold on to water. Later, your kidneys work overtime to flush both the salt and the water, filling your bladder at night. Deli meats, canned foods, processed snacks, restaurant meals. Cook more at home, flavor with herbs and spices, and watch labels carefully. Less salt means less thirst, less urine, and even healthier blood pressure. Take Mike, a 77-year-old model shipbuilder. He struggled with waking up 3 to 4 times every night. After just 2 weeks of following this protocol, he called me in disbelief. "Doctor, last night I slept 7 hours straight." 7. I didn't even remember what that felt like. This morning, my hands weren't shaking. I'm back in my workshop. I feel alive again. Mike's story shows that this isn't just theory. It works in real lives. Hydrate smartly. Most fluids before 4 p.m. Soften and stop. Reduce intake in the afternoon, and no liquids 2 hours before bed. Support your body. Double voiding, leg elevation, and salt control. With these steps, you're not just reducing nighttime bathroom trips. You're taking back your sleep, your energy, and your quality of life. If this resonated with you, do 3 things. Hit like so more people struggling with Nocturia can find this. Subscribe for more science-backed health solutions. Drop a comment. How many times do you wake up at night? Sharing your story could help someone else feel less alone in this struggle. Because the truth is simple. Better sleep means a better life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.